Good afternoon. Okay, so I'm here with my other piece of painted fabric, which I painted with the Arteza paints, and I thought I would stitch this here. This is just a little piece of some sort of lacy trim. It's quite thin, and then this one's very thin as well, and I thought I might have this overhanging, and then I've done a little drawing of what I might like to stitch, so we'll just see how we go, if that composition will work. So I'll grab my thing here for a second, and we'll grab a needle, and I'm just going to grab from there some thread from the sewing machine, as you do, and we're going to stitch down these. So I hope everybody is well. This painting on fabric business and then embroidering is a lot of fun. So I just did some green and sort of kept it a bit lighter in the middle, as if it's, I think that's what you do. It's if I asked Lulu, that's what you do. It's going off into the distance. So I'm just going to quickly stitch these down. Just going around the edge. I've got a knot here somewhere. Immediately, instantaneous knot. So I hope everybody is well. And what's the weather like where you are? It's boiling hot here. Again, we're going to be hot again until I think Sunday. It'll probably be humid on Sunday, I expect. There might be a bit of rain. They always say rain and then it doesn't happen. We really don't get much rain here. Yeah, it's going to be hot until then. So high 30s. Like not 38, 36. Which is pretty hot. It's way over my limit. My limit's 30. I feel hot with 30. So it needs to go under 30 for me to be happy. So we're nearly there. Just got to go around this side and then around the bottom. So I watched the first episode of Anne of Green Gable like really a long time ago. And then I thought, well, I'll watch that last night. Steffi fell asleep. We watched one episode of Captive, which made us teary because when they got, I think I have a vague memory of that couple. They got kidnapped by Al-Shabaab or whatever his name was in was that the one yesterday? Yeah, I think it was. In the Philippines. And they had them for more than a year, and the Philippine military found where they were and just went in shooting, and they shot the husband, so he didn't survive. That made me very sad. His wife did, which was good, but I was very sad that the husband didn't survive. We actually thought they had both died because they didn't show the wife until 2/3 of the way in, so we thought, oh, they're not showing them, they mustn't have survived. They're very sad things to watch. Very sad. I think I'll put that about there. No, I don't want it to come over so much. Okay, so this is just creating a little textured background. And it's always the same piece of hemp that I painted on in yesterday's video, because it's quite nice to sew. It's not flimsy or light, but it's not too heavy either. It's sort of in between, and it's quite a nice color too. I hadn't seen that color before. It's not white, it's like a gray sort of white. Now now. It's a little bit crooked, but you just give it a tug and you just make it go where you want it to go. I kind of like that that's not ironed flat. Now here, what I'll need to do is stitch. Hopefully I'll have enough thread. I'm going to catch these little bits here, so they stitch down. The other thing I've really been enjoying is in around 2000, when I was living in Australia, I was quite the fan of Rachel Ashwell on you know, Shabby Chic, and I bought her first book because I love you know, the mixed china and like what Sarah did at Christmas, and I had already started collecting up you know, mixed teacups and things like that, and I don't know, I've just sort of rediscovered her again because she's now on Instagram. She's actually in the UK. I think I might have mentioned this before. I don't know if she's staying there forever or if she's going back to Los Angeles when all of this business is finished. But she does, not exactly every single day, but nearly. She does these Insta videos, and I've really, Mum's been watching them as well, but I've gone right back to the beginning because she's numbered them, and I've got this now knotted here, right at the top in the eye of my needle. She does these Insta videos, and I just love them. As I was saying, I've gone right back to the beginning. Don't worry, that'll flatten out. Now we've got to get our pen. I kind of coloured it too, just to remember what sort of colours I was thinking. I'm going to use this pen, I think. I just don't want to make any mistakes. So why don't I start over here? So yeah, so she does these Insta videos. I won't do too much, just a vague idea. And they're really cool, and she shows some nice things. But when the UK was in full lockdown, she was limited to what she could show. But then now that the lockdown is lifted, she's out and about a bit, and she takes you sometimes to flea markets or antique markets, that sort of thing, and it's just really great. I really enjoy it. And I also love, she calls them mindful meanderings, and I just love them. I just love her thoughtfulness, and I feel like I need to be more looking at things in a different way, if you know what I mean, like pondering a bit more. I just really enjoy it. So it did make me go, thank you, Rachel. Not that you would ever watch my video, but I did go out and buy a few more of her books because I was a bit behind. I hadn't bought them all, and so I bought a few. Just, you know, I just feel like having different sources of inspiration, really, even though that's got nothing really to do with what we do here. It's still a source of inspiration, I think. And I probably won't be able to see any of this when I go to embroider it. That there, and I wasn't going to put. I was going to put my butterfly about here, I think. Maybe a little bit bigger. I'm not worried about those lines coming back because I'll be covering those. There we go. And that will be my little scene. I may have to go off and stitch some of it off camera because it will take quite a while. So here I was thinking I might use some of these threads too. These are good threads. These are just the perlé cottons. These, I don't know what these are. I buy these in Australia at the Cruel Goblin. They're not cheap, but there's a lot on them. I might use this for that one over there, I think, or maybe I'll use it for this one. Yeah, I'll use it for that one. It's quite thick. Oh, I know, they're DMC, these, I think. No, these aren't the expensive ones. The expensive ones are the other ones. These variegated ones, the ones that change colour. These are just the DMC thicker ones, the thicker embroidery threads. So what I might do for this one here is I might, rather than just back stitch, which I always do, I'm going to do stem stitch, I think. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, how I'm doing it, because we've got the lace there, but I'll try my best. Now I can't even see where my lines are. Oh well, we'll just wing it. So to do stem stitch, what I do is basically you come forward and then you bring your needle back halfway back, like so. So your next stitch starts halfway from your other stitch, your first stitch. And then you just continue on like that, and you just get this nice sort of interwoven sort of stitch. I don't know how I would say it. Why am I getting knots today, really? See? I don't know if you can see that. So I've come up. I sort of hold my thread out of the way so I don't go into my thread. And I'm sort of coming up. I'm almost coming up pretty much near where I went down before. So I'll show you again. So it's always halfway there. Yeah, so I'm sort of going down forward and coming back through pretty much where I went down before. If that makes any sense whatsoever. And I think this thick thread is a good choice on the lace, so it stands out a little bit better than had I chosen. There we go, that's the last one. See how you get this nice, it looks like they're rolled, the stitches, almost. So we'll end that one off. This was probably an old piece of thread too, causing me issues, so we'll get a nice fresh piece. For the leaves on that one, I'm going to do a satin stitch, which is the stitch that's completely filled in, but I'm going to do them, I should use my threader, but I'm being lazy, so you're just going to have to wait for my laziness. Very determined. Okay, so we'll do our quilter's knot, will be good. Okay. And I need another stem. It starts about here, so come up here and do the same process again. It's pretty quick if you don't get tangled. So what I might do is do a bit of each thing, and then I can finish it off screen once you've seen a bit of each thing, and then I'll come back and show you. I'm eternally joining videos together. Fortunately for this one, there's no, I've already posted the first video for this one where I created the base. I don't think I need to go much further up. So I'll come end that one off. Now the only thing about the lace is, of course, it's quite hard to see your markings. Okay, so there's a leaf. So what I do with this one, I'm going to do it my stem stitch diagonally. So I'm starting at the point and I'm just coming down here. And then what I'll do is you just sort of shorten your stitches slightly to create the shape. So I don't come in exactly at the same level as that one. I'm bringing it in a bit, and I'll bring it in a little bit here as well. And and if you have a gap like that, you can just put another stitch in. Oh wait, well, I came back up anyway, so I can fix it. And then we'll have one smaller stitch there. And then we'll come over here and we'll just create the leaf shape as you go. So at the bottom here, I'm getting longer, and at the top, I'm coming down a little bit to create that tapered sort of look. And I'll do that until I reach my stem. And also, as the leaf narrows, your stitches become shorter. And this is the longest leaf ever. It's just never ending. Okay, so that's that leaf. Just a long, narrow sort of leaf. I'm going to put a little one in there. And I don't mind if it's a little bit messy, because it sort of gives you a little bit of texture. See if I can draw my leaf a little bit better. That's where I want it. So I might just start down here and just put a very steep sort of, if you're not confident to get your shape, you could also, sometimes I don't do a very nice shape. Sometimes it's also, you can outline it with a little running stitch and then bring your stitches up there. Maybe I'll show you with the little petals. See, this is a smaller leaf, and I think I drew it a little bit better so I can see the shape more. And I think that's enough for that one. And then we need another thread to do the other one. I mean, it's only a small piece, so it will come along fairly quickly. And the other one, I was going to have a little leaf in there, so let me try and draw it a little bit better. I don't think I even attempted to, just so I can see my shape. I could probably use a needle with a bigger eye in it, but I like the thickness of this needle, so that's why I persist with it. I'll tell you what, watching me thread a needle is like watching paint dry. No. Okay, let's get I'm going to have to give up on that one. I'm going to have to get one of these rods with a bigger eye. Those are not sharp, they're hopeless. Maybe this one, but it's such a thick thing. I don't even know what numbers these needles are. Got no idea. Oh, and the other cool thing that Rachel Ashwell talks about is how, you know, how she sort of, her business evolved and how she started it, and how it all came about. It's really cool. I mean, she does have an amazing eye. Might be not everybody's taste, but she still puts things together very well. Clever lady. Okay, there's the courier. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry, I just had to check. I didn't hear it. Normally it makes a little noise when I put the camera back on, but it didn't do it this time, so I didn't know whether I was on or not. So I think that's enough for this one. Okay, so I'll end that off. Let me see what purples I've got there. Now, I wanted like I don't think I've got the right colour. That's too light. That colour. I wanted that colour. Just a minute, let's see. Now that's very thin, that one. Or that colour. Or maybe that colour. Let's see. Could have that. No, that's that. And that, or I think that one's going to be too dark. Could have that. Oh, those three there. That's it. See this? There we go. That's how we check our colours. So I'm going to use, these are just regular DMC Perle cottons, and they come in the little ball. I don't have any in the little ball because I wind them. I like to keep them in the box. It's easier to store them, and so I wind them all on. Now, a tricky thing that you can do sometimes, these are little teardrops, and I'm going to, what I like to do sometimes is just do like one daisy stitch, like that, one single daisy stitch or chain stitch, and I just put that there and then I fill it in. It's a really fast way you get your shape, and I might bring my needle just over the edge there, and you just get your nice daisy shape. Put another stitch, and I always start in the middle and then do either side. So then we'll do this one. And I don't come up and go down very near. I keep them open a little bit so you keep the teardrop shape. Otherwise, sometimes they can go a little bit skinny. So I'll put my, oops, I came up where I went down. So I've pulled that now. So let's just do that again. I better come down here. So I mean, I don't know if these are the, oh, okay, I'll give up. I don't know if these are the, you know, exact right ways to do things. I just make it up and do whatever I find easiest. But I am really enjoying doing this embroidery on the painted background. It's really cool. Now I've got to do that one over there. And then the next row is going to be the same colour. I won't make you sit through me doing the other one because the other one's exactly the same. Although I could decide to change the tones of the purples. I'll think about that. But we'll move on to something else. So that way, as I said, you get a sampling of everything. As you can see, this is moving on quite quickly. You get a sampling of everything without having to sit through and watch it all happen, especially when it's repetitive. Okay, so see how cute that is? And now we'll come up and do the next row. So to do your daisy stitch, you hold your thread with your other thumb, and then come here and then go in the middle of the petal, catch the loop. Don't pull it too tightly because you'll lose your shape, and then you put one little stitch over it to hold it down. That's what that little stitch does. Hopefully you can see. I did zoom in, one zoom in, if you know what I mean, on the phone. Just did +1. So you could, if I zoom in 2, which would be better, then I go off screen and then you can't see. So I guess you have to, if you watch it on your TV, you'll probably be able to see quite a lot of detail. That's a bit of a, and then if it's not like sitting well, like that wasn't sitting perfectly, I just run over it with your thumb and jiggle it about and flatten them, and then they do sort themselves out a little bit, unless you've done a really bodgy job. That could happen. And if you really don't like something, as I always say, take it out, because it won't make you happy. You'll put the piece aside and say, I don't like that, and then it will never be finished. So we'll stitch this one. So we had a family chat. My mum's gone to Sydney because it's my nephew's first birthday. My younger brother's, he's 10 years younger than me, and he's got 2 super cute little boys. I mean, I was saying to my dad yesterday that my younger brother was just so cute. I mean, when I was Lulu's age, I was 10 years, I'm 10 years older than he is, so I was 10 when he was born. Lulu's not mad about little kids. I just loved my younger brother. I still love him, but I mean, I took him everywhere, and my dad said to me, you brought him up, and I said, well, my friends and I just loved him, so we just had him with us all the time. And he was so cute, and he had this blonde hair and blue eyes, and one of those really big floppy fringes, and he was just so cute. And he's, of course, I couldn't imagine his kids being any less cuter than he was, and they're really cute. The 1-year-old just never stops smiling. He just smiles all the time. And the older brother, there's about probably a year and a half between them, if that. Their mum's Canadian, and the older one is called Edward, and he calls himself Eduardo. I don't know where he got it from. He must have seen it on TV or something. I don't know. He calls himself Eduardo. It's hilarious. And he goes to daycare, and they do yoga. And so he was showing me the yoga. It was hilarious. I mean, he was just doing a downward dog, but he was lifting his arms up, so he was basically on his feet and his head. It was very funny, and we're like, can't you do anything else? Because apparently he has other moves, but that's the one he likes to do. And then he does this really funny thing. He says, how dare you? So he must hear it from his mum or something, say, how dare you? Or something. And he was saying, and he bares his teeth at you when he does it. So he knows it's like a negative sort of assertion sort of thing. So it was very cute. There we go. I really like the colours. Okay, so I'm going to knot that, and we're going to move on. I might leave that. Another hint is, if you're going to be changing colours a lot, but you're going to need that colour again, and you've got lots of needles, leave it threaded. Just stick it over there, leave it threaded, and when you come back and do that one, you've got it there ready. Now my next colour was this one, so we'll grab the piece that I've already started there, and I'll grab another needle. You see, this is where I need lots of needles. So that's funny how kids do that. You can learn, I think I've seen like documentaries about it as well. You can learn lots about what happens with kids too when they're at school and stuff. They say always observe how they're playing when they're little like that. Like Lulu, when Lulu used to go to kindergarten, she loved playing with her teddy bears. She had this cat she called Micho, and then she had this dog. They were her favourites. And then she had other ones because we loved going, what was that shop called that you could go in? It's not there anymore. Build-A-Bear. She loved going there when we went to Australia, and she'd get a teddy. That was her treat. That was her one thing that she got. And an outfit for it. And they were super cute. And the kids get to, in that, it closed down. It mustn't have been doing well anymore. But the kids could go in there, choose their teddy, and then they'd fill it while they were there, and they'd have the outfit, and they'd take it home in this big box that they could colour in the box. And I don't know if it's in the States or anywhere else. Might be in the States. But anyway, it went out of business in Sydney, but Lulu loved it. Anyway, going back to my story, she used to have her teddies. She used to layer on all the hats, and she had a feather boa that my cousin gave her, which I told my cousin she was terrible for giving that to her because the feather boa, hot pink, lost feathers everywhere. I had feathers eternally floating around the house. I'm not a good housekeeper at the best of times, and the feathers floating around everywhere was just a nightmare for me. Anyway, so she had the feather bow on, and she had these hats. Like my dad, every time he comes, he buys a hat because he always likes to come in summer, and he always leaves them here because that can't fit them in his suitcase. And so I have all these hats. And then she had this pink hat, and so she layered them all on top of each other, and she had this hot pink pram, and all the teddies were in there, and you could hear her. She'd line them all up, and they'd be at school, and she'd be the teacher, and you could hear her saying exactly the things that I expect that the teacher was saying. Well, actually, I know the teachers did that because I used to go and do English workshops there. And she was just imitating the teachers. And even when she went to elementary school, she still loved playing with them, while she was still 7 and even 8. Maybe even when she was 9, she still played with her teddies. I'll never throw them out, the favourite ones, because she just loved them. And you could hear her imitating her teachers, which was really interesting to me because I know one of the teachers was a real screamer and she was terrified of her. And I knew exactly what she was saying because Lulu would repeat it to her teddies at home. So that's an interesting little thing. You get insight into their life just by listening to them when they're playing. Not so much now because all they're on is Instagram and watching YouTube and quietly in their room. So you don't get to hear much unless you eavesdrop if they're having a phone call. Like in lockdown, she was having her video calls and I'm right next door, so I could hear what they were chatting about. But otherwise, you don't know anything. You only know what they want to tell you, which is totally normal. Of course it is. Oh, I love this. I'm just doing little French knots up here. And I haven't decided how many I'm going to do. I'll just do a few more. I did a wider, more at the bottom and less at the top. I might do one more. Might wrap it round a little bit less. Itchy nose. Wrap it round twice so it's a little bit smaller. Because, as you probably know, how big your French knot is will depend on how thick your thread is and how many times you wrap it around. A bit of a blah-de-blah today. Until I'm not. Then I'll run out of things to say and then I'll go quiet. Oh, I was saying I was watching Anne of Green Gables and then I got distracted by, what's her name? Rachel Ashwell. Okay, so that's the first flower. That one's going to be the same, although I might change the colour tone. So let's go on with something else. I'm going to grab maybe even this. No, maybe. Oh, this is a beautiful thread. This is one of those ones that my mum gave me. I don't even know. I like this one more than that one. I'm going to do some grass blades here and there. Oh, I better get back to Anne of Green Gables. So, I mean, it's great. It's, you know, of course, I loved Anne of Green Gables when I was little. This series, it's very good. I've only up to episode 5 in the first series. There's 3 seasons. I'm not going to fill it all in because I'll come back with another tone, I think, another colour. Let's just sort of do these random stitches in all different directions to give you the idea of grass. Do one longer one, and then I'll come back with a darker colour, I think, or a lighter colour, or both. So we'll just end that off. So I've got to get back to Anne. So yeah, it's very good. She's a bit of a, as Lulu would say, if Lulu wants to watch it, she hasn't watched it yet, but Lulu will cringe. I mean, all these things that happen to Anne, as Lulu would say, are cringeworthy. And you think, oh my goodness, why are you saying that? Why did you do that? Why did you put those flowers in your hat? You look so funny. And then go to school, and then, I mean, she's so eccentric. It's really, really, it's very good. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. I did stay up a little bit late last night, and that's why I woke up with a migraine this morning, but it's feeling a bit better. That could also be it's a little bit hot. It was quite hot yesterday. It was hotter than today. So that doesn't always agree with me. Right, so here we go. Just doing my random stitches here, and then I'm going to come in with a darker colour for the daisies. So you can see it's quite quick. And I'll do another little one, and that's that for that colour. That's done. Don't need that colour anymore. I'm going to come in with this colour, I think, for the daisies. Will I do the daisies, or will I do the blades of grass? Because then I saw this other beautiful, these, I don't know what these are. My mum buys these. That's going to be for the daisies. This is going to be for the blades of grass. Okay, and I might even come back even with a even lighter green for more blades of grass. Do a long one there. Really is a lot of fun. Yes, I'm going to come back with a third colour because I like things in 3s, as you know. I don't want that to cover that. You can sort of direct where they sit too. You just put your thumb there and say, you sit over there. You do as you're told. Okay, and that's that. I'm going to jump across here. I won't be looking at the back. It'll be put on something. So I'm not worried about that. So just jump across. So what's everybody working on? A lot of questions today, don't I? What's the weather like, and what are you working on? I must say, I've been watching, when I've been watching Rachel Ashwell, sometimes she's got like a light sort of fabric sort of shirt on, or t-shirt, and other times she's got her winter woolies on, and it's the middle of summer. And I must say, I do envy that a bit. I know you guys in the UK would love a warmer summer, but I can't tell you, we do suffer the heat here, and I would love a bit of cooler weather. I'd like it to be mixed. I'd like it to be sometimes warmer, and sometimes I'd like it to have like a cool snap that I feel like I need to, not put a winter woolly on, but maybe put a light jumper on. Yeah, that's what I'd like. Oh, I'm going to go with my lighter colour first, and I might grab this one. Let's have a look. So sort of just hold it near. Is that going to be light enough, or do I prefer this one? Now this, Oh, this is another one. Oh, I prefer that one. Of course I do. This is one of those threads that my mum gave me, and I don't know what they are, but I know she buys most of them. And they come double like this. She buys most of them at the Cruel Goblin in Sydney. They are on Instagram as well. And they specialize especially, that's very good, in cross stitch patterns. They have a lot of those really beautiful. And I bought some and they're on my bucket list to get done, but of course I've got my hand in a lot of pies. Is that what you say? I'm a hand in a lot of pies at the moment. I want to paint. That's Arteza's fault. I want to paint. I want to embroider. I want to make journals. I want to do it all. I don't have enough hours, which is probably why I've got a headache. I just don't have enough hours. I need more hours. Suzanne, if you're out there, I need to answer you. You sent me a message and I need to answer you, and the answer is yes, but I will send you a message with more questions about what you asked me about. So yeah, I'll answer you like that, yes, but I need to send you a message with the proper questions. So there we go. We need more hours in the day. There are things that get postponed, like sometimes I postpone answering things because I've got to do something else first, and then the trouble with me is, you can guess it, I forget. So sometimes I don't even open messages, because if I see an unopened message in a few days' time, I'm oh, I've got to answer that. But if I've opened it and it's not highlighted, it can be lost. It might be answered 5 days later. So, oh, I do like that, see the different tones. So I think it's good to have maybe 3 shades from light to dark. No, I wasn't actually, when I had envisioned this, I wasn't actually planning on doing so much embroidery on it, but then I got carried away when I did my little drawing, because then I wanted to embroider this and I wanted to embroider that, and so it's ended up with more embroidery on it than planned. Now, let's have a think. I think with the, this is going to be for the daisies. I can't even see where I drew them, but we'll get there. For the daisies, for the stems, I'm going to do split stitch. I probably should choose a thicker thread, but anyway, I could have done 2 strands. But did we want to watch the paint dry and have me there threading? So split stitch. So split stitch, basically what you do is you come forward again, you come back and you go down and split the stitch. How about that? That's what you do. You go down and split the stitch. Obviously, if you've got 2 threads, it works even better. And I can't even see my drawing, so I'm just trying to ascertain how high was this one going. Not that high. This one can go to here. Okay. No, I might do 1 more stitch. And I'm going back and I split the stitch. And they have little, they do have little petals. So what I'm going to do is I do my center. So 1 longer stitch for the center, and then 2 coming down just a little bit, 2 shorter stitches on the side. So I just create this little super easy little thin petal, and very fast as well. And I'll do 1 over here. Right, so that's my first daisy. The stem. Now I had 3. So let me just have a look at it and see where I'm putting the other ones. And I've got one, I need to have one shooting up there, I think I'll do. I drew it that way, but I think I'll have it going that way. And it can start down here, and it's going to go up there. And as you stitch more, get more stitching on here, I should say, the more you're going to amalgamate into the piece the lace as well. Okay, just one more stitch, I think, and then we'll have, that's where we'll put our second daisy. And if I can, from this thread, I'm just going to put one petal, one leaf, not a petal, it's a leaf. There we go, like that. So it's good getting all these different, once you get all the colours on there, it starts to make sense. Okay, and we need it to do one more. And again, this is like that other thread. It's just lovely. I don't know what the consistency, it might have silk in it or something, or I don't know. It's very soft. It's a blend, I think. Really is a joy to stitch with. You can feel the difference between this and the, you know, the other regular perle cottons. And oh, there's a line there, so I'm going to have a daisy coming up here. That daisy is going to start down. Actually, it's just going to start in there. The grass in this one is in front. So you also have to think about what is in front and what is behind. Now I don't want that one to be the same height as that one, so I put just one more extra stitch. I don't want it to be as high as that one. I want different, you create different sort of bit of movement, different levels. And I'm going to put a leaf over here. I might put 2 leaves on this one. So if you're feeling confident, you don't even have to draw it all on, just a little bit, and then just create it with your thread, the shape. And then I'll do one more here. Slightly longer one. So I'll show you in a second. Pin that off. Okay, so we'll put those away. And then for my last flower, I'll just show you quickly how I'll do the daisies. Now I'm just thinking, what colour do I want to do those with? Because they need to stand out, because we're going to go onto there, so they need to stand out a little bit. Oh, this is a lovely colour. This is another one that my mum gave me. It's like, it's got it's beigey pinks and yellows, kind of. Because it might blend in a little bit, I may decide to, I'm using my rod here. I sound like my mum. She's like, what's that rod? And it's a bent rod. you bent your needles. Okay, so with my daisies, I'm going to do them the same. I'm going to try them with the daisy stitch just to see if it stands out, but I might have to fill them in. I might have to. I don't want them to be too big. So we'll just do one. I'll do the rest off. So let's see. We might not be able to see it. Can kind of, but anyway, I'm going to go round and put the daisy stitches in. Oh, that one was going to be, actually, that one was going to be like that, so why don't I do it like this? This one only has 3 petals because it's seen from the side. Yep, I'm going to colour it in. Because otherwise you won't be able to see it. It's going to be very subtle. Oops. I'm going through quite a few layers here because we've got the 2 laces and the fabric. And I'm just trying to see if I jiggle that, will they? No, I'm going to put another stitch in the middle there because I'm not happy with that gap. And I might just slip it in there. There we go. And then I've got to put another petal here. Oh, didn't even need to do any more on that one. So there we go. So that's done. And now I'll just show you the center. Center's going to be 1 or 3 knots. I just have to decide. See how I like it. And I'm going to use. I don't think I've got the color that I would like to use here. So I need to go to my other box over here. And it's nice to even mix up the types, and I want one of these, not that one. That one's a bit pale. Oh, here we go. This one. What about that one? Yeah, I don't think there's another one there. Okay, so I'll use this, and I'm going to do, maybe I'll use 3 strands. And I'll just do 1. Let's see. So I need to keep that out because I need to do the other daisies. I could have just done the stitch without filling it in, but as I said, you wouldn't be able to see it so well on this background, so that's why I filled it in. And I'm going to do, actually, yes, I'm going to do a big French knot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that'll do it. So you just have to do it once. And there you go. There. Okay, so let's get on to the last flower. Then I'll finish this off and then I'll come back. Hopefully I join my videos together in the correct order. That would be good. See, there's no to-ing and fro-ing. We'll leave that threaded. Okay. And then the next one, oh, I didn't do any of those little pink buddy things down there. I need to do those as well. So let's just put that back over there. Put that there, I need that. Do I need this? I don't need this one anymore. Put that away. Do I need that? I don't need that one anymore. So we'll put them away. Keep ourselves in order. Do I need the light green? I don't need that one anymore either. Okay, so here, oh, could we have a pop of colour? Would we like a pop of pink? Or would we, oh no, do I want to do the toned down colour, or do I want to do that one? That one? I'll do the bright. Let's go with the bright. Okay, and I'm going to do these little things everywhere. Just do my knot. I'm just going to do, they're just going to be random. They're not going to be, I'm going to do a little colonial knots for that. Similar, very similar to the French knot. But I think I'll do, yeah, they're tiny. I'm just going to do little colonial knots. There's a little thread down there. Just have them at all different heights at the ends of some of the blades that we put down before. One over here. Might do one up here. Whoops. Put one there. Maybe one, do I want any more on that side? Maybe one in the middle here. I'm just going to do it until I sort of can't do it anymore with this piece of thread. There, and we'll do one down here, and I think that'll be it. That was pretty fast. Okay. Now, my next thing to do is the stems here. Oh, this is so cute. You see that there? The next is to do the stems here. I'm going to do them back stitch, and I'm going to use a slightly brighter green, I think. Have I used that? I've already used that one. Don't want to repeat, or I could use that one, or that one, or that one. I think this one stands out more. I'll use this one. Or did I already use that one? I think I did. Okay, let's use this one. So it's a slightly brighter green, and it's just going to be back stitch. And I'll start up here. And this will take a while to do, so I'm just going to do little back stitches here and create, actually I'll make that one a bit longer. So I'll do a little bit, and then I'll switch off and finish off some of these bits and then come back. And at the end of each of these sort of bits here, I'm going to have a French knot, and it's going, I'm thinking I'm going to use, what colour will I use? I'll just tell you now. not that colour, because it's going on the blue, so it needs to stand out. I put that colour. That colour I'm going to put there, because it needs to stand out. And over here I'm just going to put another one. I didn't draw it on, but I like to have 5. It can be a shorter one. Okay, and then I'll come down and do the stem. Can hardly even see where I drew it. We'll wing it. And there's these long leaves. I might do feather stitch. I'll show you how you do that. I'll just get the stem done, the first stem, and then the rest of it I'll finish off afterwards, but I'll show you a leaf. I mean, this is super detailed. As I said, it wasn't my plan to be so detailed, but here I am. So I'll end that off, and we're going to come up just to do something different. Not like you could do that diagonal sort of stem stitch if you wanted to, but this will just be something different. So normally you go, you put your one stitch, sorry, down the center, just there, a little short stitch, that's the top, and then come up just slightly down next to it, and then hold your thread down, and then you come up slightly next to it on the other side and come up there, and then put a little stitch in there to hold it down, and then you do it again, and you slowly work your way down the leaf. If you can see that there, so it's making a little feather. So you go, always staying down the center with your little stitch. Oh, my tummy's grumbling. I didn't eat a lot today. And continue to go down. Until you get to near your stem. And you can do them sort of as close together, the stitches, or as far apart as you like. You can have a loose feather or a tight feather. Always trying to be mindful a little bit of the shape of your leaf. I don't always get it right. I think this will be my last stitch, and then I'll just join it, I think. And if I don't like it, no, I might continue down, but I've run out of thread, so I'll do that. I'm going to continue it down right until my stem. So I'll continue on and finish off all these little bits and pieces, and then I'll come back. So I'll see you in a minute. Bye. Okay, so I'm back. I finished I just went in and did that and said, look, they're a little bit messy, the stitches, but that doesn't matter. That's what we want. We want a bit of texture and not being perfect, I want to say. So I went ahead and just did French knots with 4, you know, wrapping around the needles 4 times with that blue. And with the butterfly, I just filled in the center and did 2 antennas. I back stitched around the outside and then did 3 long stitches on the inside of the outline, if you know what I mean. And I think that is super cute. Now I didn't do it on video because I realized that it had been a very long video, and I also realized you couldn't see my drawing, so that's my drawing there, just to give me an idea what I wanted to do. So I think that's really cute. It took a while, probably total of 2 hours, beside like taking away the painting, but really fun, cute little idea, and would be lovely addition to a special journal for someone special. Yes, so I hope you enjoyed that. That's the last of my stitching videos for now. I'll be going back to paper, and I will see you again tomorrow. So I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye.